Good morning, Nick.
Good morning.
How's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. How was your week?
My week was good. How was your week?
It was good. Did you do anything exciting this week?
Nothing really. Usually nothing. Nothing exciting, no.
Did you get your kids this week?
Yeah, I got them. This weekend, actually, I got them.
Did you do anything?
We just really just, sat in the house, let them play video games, whatnot.
Nice. Nice. So, before we get started today, I just want to make you aware, obviously, you know that we're recording today's session.
Yes.
And you filled out the informed consent.
Yes.
So, I just want to make sure that you understand everything on the informed consent. Do you
Yes.
have any questions about
No.
it? Okay. So, we're going to get your signature here on this informed consent. And you initialed all of the boxes.
Yes.
All right, thank you so much. So, we're still looking for jobs, right?
Yeah.
Have you had any luck with that yet?
No, I put in a couple applications here and there, and still nothing.
I think you're feeling a little bit stuck. Am I right with that?
Well, yeah, I guess you could say I'm like kind of stuck.
Okay. Is it more so finding your interest or what you're passionate about, or what do you think?
I think it's more like, yeah, I think it's more of that.
Okay. And I think, you would probably want to, and correct me if I'm wrong, but find something that, goes along with your personality and your interests.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and not just do anything, probably. So, if you could describe your personality, what would you think it would be? You had to give me some.
Well, I think I'm caring. I think I'm compassionate, and I think I like to help people,
Okay.
and just feel like I do good things.
All right.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit. I know we talked about this in previous sessions, but just refresh my memory. What are some positions that you've held in the past?
Well, I've done like a lot of different things. I've done restaurant work. I've done construction work, and I was a PCA for a while. So.
Tell me about that, because that's a little bit different than the restaurant and construction work.
Well, yeah, it is different. Well, it's like you get a chance to like help people. You get to see different people with different mind states, and
Where did you do this
know.
position in a nursing home?
yeah, it was a personal care home.
Okay.
But, yeah.
So anything else you want to share about that?
Well, no, not really.
Okay, so you liked helping people.
Yeah, no, I did. Yeah, I liked the job a lot
Okay.
actually.
I think that's really cool. It's nice that you found an interest in helping others. You sound very compassionate. It takes a special kind of person to do work like that. So I'm actually going to give you an assessment today to help you kind of pinpoint your interest based on your personality. So have you ever heard of the Onnit interest profiler test?
No.
No? Okay. So this is a career assessment that can help you find out what your interests are related to work. So you can really find like what you'd like to do. And it kind of helps you explore some careers that you might want to look into. Okay, so I'm going to kind of help you do this on the computer here.
Okay, so do we just do it on this?
Yep, so we're going to go and click next. So it has 60 questions about work activities that some people do on their jobs.
60?
60 questions, yeah.
Oh.
So you're going to kind of rate them strongly, dislike, unsure.
All right.
Like,
Yeah, I get
strongly,
it.
like, okay. So you're not going to think about your education or your training.
All right.
Put that out of your mind. Don't worry about what, certifications you have.
All
or
right.
different
Yeah, I get
things.
what you mean.
All right. And don't think about how much money you would make doing the work either. So we want to just kind of answer these questions solely based on your
What,
personality
what I
and
feel
interests.
I would
Yeah.
want to do.
Not any thing that's motivating you to do that. Like, for example, you might say, "Oh, I would love to be a heart surgeon," but if you have no interest in the medical
Yeah, then
field,
it would be pointless.
right? You would know that a heart surgeon makes a lot of money, but
Yeah.
no, there's no right or wrong answers. There's no need to rush. Take your time. At any point, you can go back.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, so you're gonna kind of just maybe I'll help you.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll click it and you can
Yeah, you
just
can click it. So I would say
build kitchen cabinets.
I would say this one.
Lay brick or tile.
Yeah, that one.
Develop a new medicine.
Nah. Yeah,
That's
nah.
one.
Yeah, nah.
Study ways to reduce water pollution. Write books or plays.
Yeah.
You like that? Like maybe this? Or this one?
Yeah, that one.
Play a musical instrument.
Yeah.
Teach an individual an exercise routine.
Nah.
Help people with personal or emotional problems.
Yeah. I like that.
Buy or sell stocks and bonds.
I would like that.
Manage a retail store. Develop a spreadsheet using computer software. Proofread records or forms. Repair household appliances.
Meh. Meh.
Raise a fish in a fish.
Meh. Meh.
Conduct chemical experiments.
No.
Study the movement of planets.
Mm.
Okay. Compose or arrange music.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Draw pictures.
Mm.
Give career guidance to people.
Yeah, I can't do that. Yeah, if I'm taking this test.
Okay. Perform rehabilitation therapy.
Yeah.
Operate a beauty salon or a barbershop. Manage a department within a large company.
Nah.
Install software across computers or in a large network.
No.
Operate a calculator.
No.
Assemble electronic parts.
No.
Drive a truck.
No.
Deliver packages. Examine blood samples using a microscope.
No.
Investigate the cause of a house fire.
No.
Create special effects for movies.
That'd be kind of cool.
Paint sets for plays.
Uh,
Do volunteer work at a...
I would do that.
Like maybe this.
I would do that.
Teach children how to play sports.
I would do that, though.
Start your own
I
business.
would do that.
Negotiate business contracts.
I would do that.
Keep shipping and receiving records.
I would do that.
Calculate the wages of employees.
I would do that.
We're almost there, halfway through. Test the quality of parts before shipment.
I would do that.
Repair and install locks.
Nah.
Develop a way to better predict the weather.
Nah.
Work in a biology lab.
Nah.
Write scripts for movies or television shows.
I would do that.
Perform jazz or a tap dance.
No.
I didn't think so. Teach sign language to people who are deaf or hard of hearing.
Nah.
Help conduct a group therapy session. Represent a client in a lawsuit. Make a new line of clothing. Inventory supplies using a handheld computer. Record rent payments.
I would do that. Way more.
Okay. Set up and operate machines to make products.
Meh. Put out forest fires. No.
Put out forest fires now. Invent a replacement for sugar.
No.
Do laboratory tests to identify diseases.
No.
Sing in a band.
No.
Edit movies.
I would do that.
Take care of children at a daycare.
I would do that.
Teach a high school class.
I mean, I would do that.
Sell merchandise at a department store?
Nah.
Manage a clothing store?
Nah.
Keep inventory records?
Yeah.
Stamp, sort, and distribute mail for an organization?
Nah.
All right, so you answered all the questions. So we're going to go next. Here is your results. So it breaks it up into categories: realistic, investigative, artistic, social, enterprising, and conventional. So you ranked really high for artistic and for social. So that's pretty cool. What do you think of that?
That is cool.
Do you know what that means?
It probably means that I should pursue something that has to do with being artistic or
Yeah.
social.
So for example, we'll click on artistic, right? So artistic, you like things such as acting, music, art, and design. You like to be creative. You don't like to follow a set of rules, work that can be done without following a set of rules.
Yeah, it'd be like Martin Scorsese.
Okay. The next one that you ranked really high on would be social. So people with social interests like working with others to help them learn and grow. They like working with people more than with objects or machines. So teaching, giving advice, helping people, being of service to people, which is interesting because you said you really enjoyed your PCA position.
Yeah, I did.
So that makes sense right there. And then the next high one was conventional. That's third though.
Working with clear rules.
Which is interesting because the last one said that you didn't like to follow set rules.
Play by
So
rules.
yeah, I mean that's farther down. So I would focus more on the artistic and the
Social.
social. Yeah. So the next step in this is going to identify some career options that kind of align with these two, so you can see if you would connect with any of those. Okay. So it's going to look at job zone. So it's going to see how much education, training, and experience do you need for that job.
Yeah.
Okay, so, which one would you like to start with? Little to no, or no job preparation or some job preparation?
Some job preparation.
Okay. Okay, so childcare workers, nannies, personal care aides. How interesting.
That is weird.
That's cool, right?
Yeah, that's cool.
All right. So would you be possibly interested in getting back into that line of work?
Maybe.
Okay. All right. So find more careers. Let's look at artistic.
Okay.
Excuse me. I apologize, Nick.
Bless you.
Thank you very much. Nannies,
What?
tailors, designers,
Furniture, yeah.
disc jockey. That's interesting. Do you know what that is?
Yeah,
Like on the
DJ.
radio. Yeah.
Yeah, the
On the
DJ.
radio or even
Yeah.
live settings. That's pretty cool. An actor. Have you ever tried acting?
No.
Do you think you'd be interested in that?
I don't know.
It'd be interesting to see, right? All right, so we're gonna go back to the other job zones, and then we're gonna see. Back here. How about so maybe we'll look at medium job preparation, see what those are.
Yeah.
So okay, we'll look at the social. Teachers,
Tour guides.
tutors,
Dancer.
teaching assistant, dancers, self-enrichment teachers.
Concierge.
Let's go to
Zone 4.
maybe we'll go to artistic. Zone 4. You want to look at zone 4?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Great.
Yep.
Broadcast broadcast announcers, radio disc jockey. That's really cool.
That's fun. That's cool.
Music therapist, teacher. So a lot of different things with helping other people or entertaining others is what I'm taking from this.
Yeah.
So you like it basically just outlines that you like to be creative and you like to help other people. So we can actually close the computer now. What do you think of your results?
That's pretty cool. I never would have thought that.
Okay. Yeah, it's very interesting when you think about it in that way. Okay, so now that we kind of explored some possible ideas for career options, talk to me about like your responsibilities as the man of the household. Like, what do you do day to day?
Like clean and do chores around the house. Other than that.
So your wife right now is the one working.
Yes.
And you're doing a lot of
Yes.
the heavy lifting around the
Yes,
house.
the housework.
Okay, and obviously taking care of your kids when they
Yes.
come.
Yes.
So it sounds like you're pretty busy.
Yeah.
At home. So I can imagine that when you start working, those responsibilities at home, they're not going to change. You're still going to have those.
Yeah.
Right. So what do you think would be some work-life balance skills that you could explore? Have you ever thought of work-life balance?
I don't really know what that is.
So that's a good question. So work-life balance is kind of, having your time at work and then your time away from work and not having those two kind of overlap. So when you're at work, you're not really focused on the stuff at home, and when you're home, you're not focused on
the
work.
stuff at work.
Yeah.
Well, if you say like what things I would do, I don't really know in a sense, because me as a person, I don't really try to bring that
Okay.
to home or to work. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So
you're aware of
yeah.
how like carryover can
Yeah,
happen.
of course, and
Yeah.
you get overwhelmed and whatnot.
Absolutely, and I think setting clear boundaries with work too, like when you're available to work, you're available, and when you're off the clock.
Yeah, 100%. You're not.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Do you have kind of some things you do for like fun or self-care that can kind of help, boost your home time to have a good balance between like work and the things you look forward to at home?
Well, I do stuff around the house. I like watch TV, I play a game, and
Yeah, I know you
With the
mentioned before, like
dogs.
to go for walks with your dog.
yeah, I like
Yeah.
to play with the dogs and stuff like that. So yeah, I do stuff like that.
Okay. Awesome. So I think it's really important that, when you start working, that you just don't lose sight of the things that you enjoy, because you
Yeah.
want to have a good balance with your work life and your personal
All right.
life. So I think too, going on Indeed and using technology can really help you find career opportunities. Are you familiar with Indeed?
Yeah.
Okay. What experience have you had with Indeed in the past?
Well, I've put applications in on Indeed.
Okay, so you're familiar
Yeah.
with that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think like researching different, like now that you did that assessment and you kind of have an idea of where your personality falls and what you might be interested in, you can actually
Look
tailor.
up, yeah, you can look it up and keyword it and stuff like that,
Absolutely.
and you can put like in your resumes what you done, and they try to like
Yeah.
narrow it down to like what they have available around you.
Yes.
And I get it.
Absolutely, yeah, and you can look on Indeed and see like based on your interests,
Yeah,
career
yeah,
opportunities.
they always give you the what's fit for you.
Yeah, we live in such a time now where everything's
Yeah,
accessible
everything's
with Google
keyworded.
search.
Yeah, keyword anything and it comes up.
Absolutely. Are there any questions that you have for me? Can I help you in any way?
No, I think this was a lot of help because, like I said, I didn't really know. You really sometimes you just take jobs as you can get them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because of course, everybody wants to do what they love to do, but
Yeah, and like this is our first career counseling.
Yeah,
like
no,
I've
I
been
get
with
it.
you in the past
yes,
to kind of talk a little bit about different things, but we're really just getting started on like the career stuff. So I think as we explore further, we can kind of talk more about your interests, and just kind of figure out exactly where you might be looking
yeah, no, I
into
know.
working.
Yeah,
I think too, like maybe when you go home today, like check out Indeed and look at the keywords and the searches that you can look at based on kind of what we did with the assessment, and kind of see if anything spikes your interests. Do you have a resume?
Well, yeah, I have it submitted on there, and like I said, when you have it on there, they kind of like, I don't know if it's based on how much experience you have more, but I do get a lot of more, compassionate care, personal care, stuff like that, healthcare work, more than I do anything else. You know what I
Right.
mean? So
Absolutely. Yeah, I think you have a good foundation of where you're looking at, and I think like this kind of maybe reinforced to you that you like the PCA work, so maybe
yeah,
try to explore some things within that as
of
well.
course.
Um, so yeah, I think we're just getting started. Today is our first day together with this topic. So I think that as we go forward, we can continue to
Oh,
help you build up
100%, yeah.
some confidence in the workforce.
Yeah,
Help you get started.
yeah.
We'll see you back next week.
Okay, cool.
All right, thanks so
Thank
much,
you.
Nick.
So-